I killed Nathan Hale. I had no choice. He was becoming one of them. He could have stopped me, but I think he wanted to die. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
Hello there, Superhuman once again, bringing you to the third section in my Resistance 3 Superhuman difficulty video walkthrough. And this is Chapter 3, Paradise Lost. And at the start of this chapter you're going to be running for all you're worth, because this Goliath is coming into town, it's crushing things with its feet, it's firing rockets, and all hell is breaking loose. And you do normally have to follow this guy because he will lead you through the level, but if you've played it before you'll already know where you're going, and for some reason that guy can't run for shit, so I always seem to outrun him on this bit. But as soon as you get into this house you will get some more life back and you will hit, I believe, a checkpoint. But this level is you and him trying to get back to the village, and it is probably the first challenge of the game because you can die here. There are a couple of different squads, a couple of different arenas to fight in, and you're going to be introduced to the Steelhead guys, which for anybody that's played Resistance or Resistance 2, you will know of these guys fondly. They are the ones with the augers. They are the pains in the arse. So there's your checkpoint. And they've changed a lot of things on this game. One of the things that pissed me off is I upgraded the bullseye to level 3 and it didn't turn into a bullseye Mark 2 or Mark 3. And if anybody doesn't know what that is a bit of fan service from the old Resistances where you got to the end of the game and the bullseye upgraded, it turned blue. And I know that sounds probably really petty because it did more damage, it was just cooler, and it's part of the fiction part of the canon, and I really liked it. And on this game it never even turned up. But this section here, there's two steelheads and there's a couple of the normal chimera. And the normal chimera, if they see you, they will run at you like psychopaths. And it actually saves your life sometimes, because instead of shooting you, which they could do, and do a significant amount of damage, they decide to just, you know, like Rambo, come up and try and grab you by the throat. And a lot of the time, it doesn't end well for them. But this is the second steelhead, and you can take him out however you like. I do use the bullseye. The magnum is extremely useful, and if you go back in the house I do believe there is some ammo or some life, but I decided to push onwards. But another thing that they've changed as well is a really easy strategy on the old games on Superhuman to kill the augers is if you went into slow motion with the Deadeye, you could hit them in the face and it would kill them instantly before they had a chance to be bastards. But on this game, the Deadeye doesn't have slow motion anymore, and I really don't know why, because it was one of the first guns that I ever saw in a game that had the ability for the sniper rifle to shoot in slow motion. Don't get me wrong, every single game since then's fucking copied it, but this was one of the first examples. This and like Time Shift maybe, and Time Shift came out a lot well after the original Fall of Man, so it's a bit of a shame, but it does force us to adapt. But the secondary function of the Deadeye is more than capable of dealing with the big guys, but I'll talk about that when I get there. So now that you've picked up the auger, this is a gun that you're going to have to remember you have pretty much through the entire game, because if you can find ammo for this gun and you can use it well, you will not have that much trouble with some areas that would normally kick your ass. Because right now, they can't even see me, and you'll notice I'm shooting them through the rock, and even if you don't get the reticle to come up on the screen when you aim at them, it will still hit them, because this is a bullet that will go through anything. This thing flies through everything, so use it to the best of your ability. And if anybody's wondering about my caliber or my record or my history when it comes to Resistance, my credibility, I've beaten the first two on Superhuman difficulty. The first one is by far the most difficult. The second one was quite easy. And I think this one's probably going to be either just as hard as the first one or maybe a little bit harder. But the first one was difficult, but you had regenerating life. This you don't, so on this section anyhow, you have to run through and follow this guy because you get shot at by all sorts of stuff, and you can take a little bit of residual damage, so don't worry about it. It is almost programmed. Sometimes you won't, sometimes you will. It's one of those silly moments. But this is leading towards a mill area, which is another open area shootout. And I actually cock up this shootout coming up. It's quite funny because I tried to climb on a roof, and you can't actually use the ladder until a dropship drop comes and flies by after you've killed a few enemies. And I'm trying to climb this ladder, and it's just not letting me, and I got all pissed off and ended up running out. But a couple of basic strategies as well. This is one of those games where circle strafing does not help. Circle strafing doesn't work on Resistance. The enemies are too accurate. What this does reward is more sporadic and frenetic movement akin to your serious Sams, where if you move left and right really quickly like Time Splitters 2 or something silly, you stand a much better chance of evading the enemy's bullets. So you'll notice I jump a lot, I move left and right a lot. Anyone would be thinking I was playing Quake Online, and that's how the best way to move out in the open against the enemies, because the Chimera are so accurate, they're just deadly. But this is the ladder that I try and climb, and you can't climb until you kill the first few enemies, and it doesn't stop me trying. I'm going to try because I am a stubborn bastard, but I come back out, and there is a couple of Chimera across there. There is a Steelhead, there's the Steelhead. He's got a little bit aggressive and runs forward towards the AI, and that definitely helps you. Because one of the cool things about this game is, if you do have AI buddies with you, they aren't the most useful of teammates, but they will draw enemy fire like motherfuckers, and you need to exploit this fact, because if they're queuing up around one of your buddies, you can't hurt your buddies. So if you throw a well-placed grenade, you've just killed every Chimera in the room, and you didn't even lose any life. And that's how you need to get into the mindset of. So be careful, because you'll notice the Chimera do rush you, they are bastards. Always aim for the head. The head is pretty much a 2 to 3 shot kill if you can hit it right. It's sometimes a 1 shot kill. I can finally climb this ladder, and if you miss the head, you've got a chance of hitting the breather pack on the back of the Chimera, which is something that's been missing in Resistance 2, which was bullshit that they took it out. But now if you take out the breathing apparatus, it will kill the Chimera, and sometimes when they blow up, they will injure their friends. So what I like to do here is, if you climb up onto this tin roof, you can snipe through it with the auger, and you can clean people up. And if you have the upgraded auger, every shot will fire 3 shots, and you will kill these guys super quick. But as usual, aim for the face. If you hear that beep 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 noise that guy just made, that means that I hit his oxygen tank, his rebreather set. And if you leave them, they'll just blow up. But I get a little bit trigger happy me, so I just shoot anything that moves. And these guys are so occupied with my teammate that I can just snipe them, and they don't even know where I am. So this section can be very, very simple. But what's going to happen here is, when you go up these stairs, there's going to be an auger that attacks you. And I couldn't remember where it was, and I could see its bullets coming through the walls. And if you can see the auger's bullets coming through the walls, you need to get rid of it, because auger rounds and superhuman difficulty do an insane amount of damage. I have 3/4 of my life right now, and I kill these first few Chimera guys, and I end up running into the auger at point blank range, which I do not recommend doing. Throw your grenades first, because he throws an EMP shield up, so if you throw your EMP grenade, you'll drop it and then finish him off with another grenade. So there's the auger rounds. I now know there's an auger around. He's to your right when you follow this catwalk and straight forward, but I didn't realise, so I'm kind of looking for him, hoping he's going to push forward and trying not to get shot. But he's over here, and you'll notice one shot from that took nearly half my life off. So I can see him, he's just in the gap there, but you can't quite hit him from any other area, so I go forward like an idiot. If you do this, make sure you always see, look at that, he hit me with 1 shot. I've got 2 bits of life left. I fuck up my throw of the EMP grenade, but it drops his shield for me, or he dropped his shield, and then I go left and right and finish him off. But I should have died then. Do not fight that guy like I just did. Try and lure him out. If he doesn't come out, stock up on grenades and throw a grenade in the room, because that is dangerous. And I don't know if you noticed, but on the platform that I was on before I came to take this guy out, there was actually a health pack that I didn't pick up. So if you see any on the videos that I miss or I forget to grab, make sure you pick them up, because it will make it significantly easier. So there we are now. This bit's a bit interesting, because the guy says, come on Joe, let's flank around, let's get around here. If you follow him on Superhuman, you will die. Now, I'm not even going to romanticize this. That guy is a douchebag. Do not listen to him. He'll just get you ass raped. And this section, the best way to do it is to hide behind this rock, because you'll notice right then a Steelhead turns up with his auger, and if you're behind the rock he can't see you, but he still notices you're there and fires at you if you're not quick enough to kill him. And what's going to happen is, once you clear them all out, I think one more auger spawns, but I didn't realise, I thought they were clear, so when I push up, I hear him coming for me, and I spin round, I'm like, what the hell? He's like, no! Auger! And he somehow dies, because he tried to rush me, but that could have gone really badly. So for future notice, anybody playing, there is a second auger, and he will try and bum you if you let him. But that's the end of the 3rd chapter, guys. I hope it's helping. Thanks for watching, and you take care now.